Hi everybody, it's Trish. Welcome to Rooster Farms. We are talking all things greenhouse. For those of you that have followed my channel and know the struggles that we have had with our greenhouse, you probably are thinking, why in the world are you thinking about rebuilding and putting another greenhouse up? I'm here to tell you why. Where I'm at is in I guess it's 7B now. And so I can actually start my seeds in my greenhouse come, I don't know, January, middle of January, end of January for some seeds, not all seeds. Yeah, even with all of the disaster and devastating things that where we live at has given and done to our greenhouses, I still want a greenhouse. So with that being said, if you've seen my video where we have torn our last one down, it was because it was falling apart. It was a aluminum framed Harbor Freight greenhouse that actually had been bent up from the last storm that got to it, and we just kind of patched it up as best we could to make it through the season. But we have decided to tear that whole thing down and start from scratch. So for me, it is worth having a greenhouse, but I have learned that a Harbor Freight or an aluminum framed greenhouse is not something that can withstand the weather that graces us here in the great western Kentucky. Our goal this year is we are going to have a greenhouse, but we are building our own greenhouse. And so far, the cost of our greenhouse is $0. We have gotten some free windows donated to us. We do have some lumber out there. So we will be in the process of building a new greenhouse in the next few weeks if weather is going to work for us. Currently, we are in December, the end of December, and it's 64 degrees outside. So if we continue to have a mild winter and weather like this, then probably we could hopefully get it going, depending on how much it's going to cost us in the long run, because obviously we're going to need other materials, we're going to need more windows than what we have, and we're going to need lumber and other costs. So we will be tallying that up, and I will do a video at a later date to let you know just how much it's cost us to build this greenhouse from scratch. We are not builders by any means. We are not my husband's not no carpenter, so we are having to do this all by YouTube videos and people that we know to grace us with all of their knowledge on building that structure. So yes, it is definitely worth it for us to have another greenhouse. Number one reason is to start our season a lot earlier and get our plants established. But you can absolutely have a garden without a greenhouse. I did it for several years. I had an attic with grow lights, and they were just like shop lights that I grew my seeds. My seed, I grew from seed into seedlings, hardened them outside, and put them in the ground, and they did just fine for the most part. So I might actually have to do that again this year if we don't get our garden if we don't get our greenhouse up to where it needs to be by the time we need to start our seeds. So yes, it is definitely worth it for us to have a greenhouse. Some things to think about before you get a greenhouse is the structure, where you live, where you want to put the greenhouse. You got to think about where the sun comes in, what part it shades. Here in Western Kentucky, we don't necessarily need to worry so much about it being too cold as we have to worry about it being too hot. Come March or April, there's no way I'm putting anything in my greenhouse. It's going to fry it because that heat is just going to be unbearable. It's going to be like 130, 140 degrees in there. So that's another thing to think about is you need like an automatic venting system. Do you need a shade cloth maybe? Or if it's really cold where you're at, you might want to think about how you heat in there. And there is ways to heat inside of your greenhouse with just like jugs of water and spray painting your containers a dark color to kind of absorb that heat, and that water heats up your greenhouse. An unheated greenhouse is going to probably raise your zone level, I guess, to 1 degree. So if we're in 7B here, it'd be like 8A, is from what I've been told. So it's not a huge difference, but it does make a difference, and it does get very warm very fast, and you can come home to dead seedlings. And if you're not careful to make sure you have the right ventilation system, and like I said, that we'll follow up that with another video when we do get our greenhouse up and going. But we are in the planning stages because it's only December, and I don't want to jump right into my seeds as of yet because I got to think about some other things. Obviously, spending time with family and all that, we don't have to, you get into seeds and then it kind of just overwhelms you, and then you're just like, I get a little bit too crazy. So I'm not even going there right now. I'm just thinking about getting our structures ready and how we're going to get started with our seeds. So you don't absolutely have to have a greenhouse, but the advantages of a greenhouse are that you can get started earlier, but it can be expensive if you're looking at certain types, depending on how big of a greenhouse you want, how you need to heat it, cool it. Those are some things to think about. We're just strictly doing ours for seeds. I'm not having any kind of raised bed. I'm not looking for a year-long greenhouse or anything like that. It's just a greenhouse to get my seeds started. I already have a garden shed, so I have a storage area for all my garden supplies, so I just need the greenhouse to get my seeds started. So that is a big advantage to me, is to be able to do that and to build your own. I mean, you can do whatever. It's your possibilities are a lot more flexible and freeing, whatever you want to do. Build your own shelves, what kind of a roof you want, what kind of door you want to go in it, that sort of things to think about when you are going to build your own greenhouse. So is it affordable? I don't know. That's here to come when I give you a total tally on how much it's going to cost us to get all this completed and done. But it's absolutely worth it to me. Yes, that is the answer to today's video question. Is a greenhouse worth it? In my opinion, yes, it is. Coming from somebody who has had a greenhouse up one day, got it all completed, and then literally, I'm not even kidding you, the next day, the wind comes and just totally just tweaks it and makes it crooked and takes out your panels. You find your panels down the road. You're picking up panels here and there. We will conquer that greenhouse so that it stays. It is a sturdy thing. So with that being said, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do, because we have lots of videos coming with the actual building of our greenhouse. And then I would love any input anybody has on greenhouse structures. If you built your own, please, put a comment in there, send me a picture, any kind of materials that you use, any kind of tips for building a greenhouse from scratch. I would greatly appreciate any kind of advice that anybody has with that. So with that all being said, I want to thank you guys for watching my video today, and I hope this inspires you to maybe think about getting a greenhouse or possibly starting things from seed. That is such a great accomplishment to be able to say that you grew that from seed. It's just, I don't even know, it's like a birth of a child, sort of, kind of. So anyways, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and more greenhouse news to come in the future. And also, of course, more videos to come on what's happening in the kitchen and what we're cooking. And I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until I post another video, y'all, bye.